Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Frank Puzzles, and this is today's challenging level puzzle. And it's from the Dutch qualifiers, which occurred, I guess, in the beginning of April. And that's for the Dutch Sudoku Championships, Dutch Sudoku and Puzzle Championships, essentially, which is going to be happening in May. I'm not sure when exactly, but it also happens online. So if you want to check that out, feel free to. This was a puzzle that was submitted for the qualifications, but was not used actually. So it is a Dutch Quali 2025 leftover. And it's called Sudoku, what is it? Ascending Starters. And I'm not sure if Richard is the person who created it or if he's related to the Dutch qualifiers and is just posting this as to help to basically just post as a solve. But it's by Richard. This creation, this specific um, uh, how do you say it? He basically entered in this information for the Sudoku. So, but I'm not sure if he actually said it himself. Anyways, let's get to the rules. Apply classic Sudoku rules, which means fill the entire grid with the digits 1 through 9 without repeats in any row, column, or box. Clues outside the grid indicate the sum of the first set of all ascending digits, starting from the first cell from the corresponding side. And sets may consist of only one digit. So what does that mean? It's the sum of the first set of all ascending digits. So it's always going to be at least one digit, right? Because you'll always have that digit be ascending. But once it starts descending, that's the start of another set, right? So it's always going to be one digit at least that adds up to whatever. As an example, let's use this one. This could be something like 3, 7, and 9. Because this is always ascending, this is part of the first set, and therefore you can sum up all the digits, which add up to 19. And obviously from here, it's going to decrease because it has a 9 here. But you could also have something like, I don't know, 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then this goes down to a 2. And since this is the first part where it's descending, you add up all the digits that are prior to it. So that would be 1 plus 3, which is 4, plus 4, which is 8, plus 5, which is 13, plus 6, which is 19. And that adds up to the digit that's outside the grid. And that's how ascending starters works. Anyways, those are all the rules. If you like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's go. Okay. So, interesting. These digits, these digits all have to be 1 through 7 here, right? Because this digit is either 7 or it's some combination of digits adding up to 7, which would be, can never have an 8 or a 9 here. We know this ascending starters cannot be more than 5 digits. What does that mean? Can it ever be a situation where you have an 8 after the 9? I don't think so, right? If you have the 8 after the 9, I guess you no, you can't. Because then that would be 4 digits here, and you would have to have 4 digits adding up to 28 without an 8. So therefore, you would always have that would be what are the possibilities for 4 digits adding up to 28? 4, 7, 8, 9, or 5, 6, 8, 9. So 8 and 9 always have to be part of this starter set. But we don't know what else has to be with it. All right, this could be 8 and 9. And then you have 3 digits adding up to 11. So it could be like 137 here. So 137, 8, 9. Or it could be like 2, 4, 5, 8, 9. We just know that there has to be an 8 and a 9. And if there's 4 digits, obviously it has to be 4, 7, 8, 9, or 5, 6, 8, 9. If it's 5 digits, it's a little bit more lenient, right? But we do know actually 9 has to be one of these 2 digits here. 8 is one of these 2 digits here. What else do we know? What are possibilities that add up to 20? Maybe that's something that's interesting. You cannot have anything starting with 6, right? If you have 6, it's either 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 6, 8, 9, or 6, 7, or 6, 8, or 6, 9, or 6 by itself. But none of those add up to 20, right? And so this must be 1 through 5 here. That's interesting. Because you could have something like 5, 6, 9. You could have 5, 7, 8. Add up to 20. You could have like 1, 2, 3, 5, 9. Something like that. What about 11? Actually, that's interesting. 11, if you start with 6 and above, you have the same problem, right? You can't add up to 11 with a 6 because then it has to add up with a 7 to add up to 13. So this also has to be 1 through 5. This has to be 1 through 7, obviously. The 31 cannot be start with 6 either, actually. Huh. Right, the 31, if it starts with a 6, the most it could be is 6, 7, 8, and 9, adding up to 30. But it adds up to 31 for the first ascending set. So this also has to be 1 through 5, which means we have a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 quintuplet in row 9. That eliminates 1 through 5 in the rest of the row. If this were a 6, the problem is you need something with another digit, which is ascending. So 6 and 7 would have to add up to a 7, which is not allowed. So this has to be a 7 here. These 2 digits must add up to 14 because we have this 1 through 5 is always going to be less than a 6 through 9. And so it has to be specifically 6 and 8 here to add, and therefore this is a 9, which means this cannot be 9. Where is the 9 in row 1? It has to be here. This is 9, this is 8. This has to be either 4, 7, or 5 and 6 here to add up to 28. Okay. So this is, I'm not sure. You can never have 4, 5, or 6 here because that has to add up with a smaller digit, a descending digit to add up to 7. So this is either 7 or this is 1, 2, 3 here. If this is 3, this is 4. If this is 1, I mean, this could be many things. Okay, so this can't be, oh, this can't be 4, 5, or 6 also, right? Because of the same reasoning. If this is 4, 5, or 6, it must add up with a descending digit to add up to 7. So this can't be 4, 5, or 6. This can't be 4, 5, or 6. We now have a 1, 2, 3, 7 quadruplet in row 1, which eliminates 1, 2, 3, and 7 from the rest of the row. This can't be 7. This now must be 6, which makes that a 5. The last digit remaining is a 4. So this adds up to 28, right? 11 plus 9 is 20 plus 8. This is always ascending, so that's good there. This is all that's ascending here. This is all that's ascending here. Can this actually ever be 1, 2, or 3 anymore? No, because you have 1, 2, you would have to have 1, 2, 3, and then 7, which doesn't add up to 7. It adds up to 13. Or you'd have 1, 2, 3 by itself. Well, whatever, if you have one, you could have 1, 2 by itself, but that adds up to 3. You could have 1, 2, or 3 by itself, period. Or you have 3, 7, or 2, 7, or 1, 7, and that doesn't work. So this always then has to be a 7, which means this cannot be 7. This can't be 3 because it can only add up with 4 to add up to 7. So this has to not be 3. This cannot be 1, 2, and 4 as 3 digits because of the 4 in the same box. So this is 1, 2 with 5 or 6 here. The 3 here also has to be with 4 because that's the only combination that adds up to 7 that's ascending. But then it has to decrease here, right? 3, 4, then one of these is 1 or 2. That means the other one must be with 5 or 6 here. So if this is 3, this has to be 4, and it has to be next to a 1 or 2. Because it has to be descending from there, from the 4. What can the 5 then be here, right? Say this was a 2 and a 5, and we had a 3, 4 here. If we had that, if we say, hey, you had 3 and 4, and this is 2 and 5, or it could be the other way around, doesn't matter. The 4 necessarily has to be descending from here, so this would be 1. But then the 5 would not have a descending number here, right? It would have to be at minimum 6, which would be ascending, therefore you would have to count that in the sum, which is not going to be allowed. So you can never have a 2 in this box. It has to be 1 and 6. So this is 4, 3 and 4, 1 and 6. The 2 has to be here, and then the 5 also has to be here to be descending from the 6. Therefore, this must be 2 and 5. This digit must be smaller than the 5. It has to be 1 or 3. That leaves in this box 1, an 8, 9 pair remaining. So this is 8 and 9. This cannot be 2 or 5 here. Interesting. For this 31 cage, or 31 ascending starter, what about this 11? 11, you can no longer have 4 digits adding up to 11 because you can't have 1, 2, 3, and 5 because of the 2, 5 already in the column. So you could have 3 digits or 2 digits here adding up to 11. If it's 3 digits, normally it would be 1, 2, 8, but that's not allowed because of the 2. 1, 3, 7 doesn't work because of the 1, 3 pair in the column already. But you could have 1, 4, and 6. That potentially works, but I'm thinking it probably doesn't. Okay, so you have 1, 4, 6. So 1, 2, 8 is ruled out because of the 2. 1, 3, 7 is ruled out because of this cell, which has to be 1 or 3. 1, 4, 6 is potentially workable. You have 2, 3, 6, which is ruled out by the 2, and 2, 4, 5, which is ruled out because of the 2 and the 5. So the only possible combination for 3 digits to add up to 11 is 1, 4, and 6. But the problem is, if this is 1, 4, and 6, say this is 1, 4, and 6, it has to be descending in this cell. But this 1 eliminates this 1, so this must be a 3. Therefore, the minimum this would be is 7. And therefore, this would add up to 18 at least, which breaks the rule. So this can never be 3 digits. It has to be specifically 2 digits to add up to 11. And obviously, you can't have 1 digit adding up to 11. So this is either 3, 8, or it's 4, 7. We're not sure which. And these are the 2 ascending digits. This must be at least 5 ascending digits here to add up to 31. This must be at least 3 ascending digits to add up to 19. This is at least 2. Let's mark it that way so that we can get this. This is at least 3. This is at least 3. This is at least 3. Going that way. This is at least 3 digits, adding up to 20. Actually, it has to be 4. If it's 3, well, no, it could be 4, 7, 9. That actually works. So it could be. So we know it's just 3 digits at most. These digits are 1 through 5 because of the 6, 7, 8, 9 already in the column. This must be lower than 8 at least. So this cannot be 2 and 5. It could be 1, 3, 4, 6, 7, right? Those are the possibilities for decreasing there. I guess it still could be 3 digits. 5, 7. Oh, no. Cannot be 3 digits here. Because this is at maximum 5, 7, 8. Or to get to 20, you need 5, 7, and 8 here for 3 digits. And that would eliminate all possibilities for this cell. So this must include another one. This could be 3 digits still here. You could have 4, 7, 9, and that works. Hmm. Can these, okay, so these, to add up to 31, you need 5 digits, right? Can you ever have the first 6 add up to 31 here? That would mean these 3 digits must add up to 14. But we know the first 2 digits here are always 7, right? Because it must be 1, 6, or 3, 4. It cannot be 3 digits here. Well, even if it's 3 digits, that doesn't work. So because of that, this is always 7. This is at most a 5 here. So that would be 7 plus 5, which is 12, which is not enough to get to 31. And on top of that, since this is 7, if this is 5, that would force this to be 2. If this is 2, that would force this to be 5 to add up to 14 for these 4 digits. So either way, this is a 2 and a 5, which means this cannot be 2 or 5. Therefore, where are the remaining digits? So again, these two digits add up to 7. These two digits must add up to 7 because one of them by himself cannot add up to 7 here. So since these add up to 7, it must be a 2, 5, 2, 5 pair, which eliminates 2 and 5 in the rest of the column. Well, where are the 7, 8, and 9 have to be? They can't be any of these cells, and they must be continuously increasing from here. So this must be a 7, this is an 8, this is a 9. This, therefore, says these three digits must add up to 19 because you can't go past the 9 and be ascending. So the combinations are 379, 469, and those are the only possibilities. So it's 379 adding up to 19, or 469 for 3 digits with a 9 in it to be ascending. It could be 2, 8, but the problem is there's an 8 in the box already. Therefore, this must be either 1, 6, 7, 8, 9, or 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. And the 4 cannot be here then. This is 4, 1, 4 here. This cannot be 6 because of this 6, so this must be 4 and 3 here, which makes this 1 and 6. That makes this 3 and 4. The 4 can only be descending to the 2. So this is 2, this is 5, which makes that a 2. None of these can be 2s. This can't be 3 and 4. This must be ascending here. This is not ascending here because it must be descending here. So either this adds up to 7 with this 7, or it's 5 and 9. So it could be 5, 9, or this has to be 2 and 5 because those are the only two digits remaining that add up to 7. So this is 2 and 5, or this is 5 and 9. Either way, 5 has to be here, which means this cannot be 5. This is 1, 2, or 9 here. But this can't be 2, so one of these digits is a 2. Okay. This cannot be 3 because of the 3 already in the row, so this is 4, which makes this a 7. This can't be 4, and this has to be smaller than the 7. You can't have 3 or 4 here. We don't know about this 3 or this 4 or 5 even maybe. Actually, it can't be 5. If it's 5 digits, that would be at like you can only have 1 out of 1 or 3. So then you have 1 or 3. So say you had 1, 1, 4, 6, 7, 8 is that minimum, is the minimum. So 1, 4 is 5. 6 is 6, 7, 8 already adds up to 21. So it cannot be 5 digits. 1, 4, 6, 9. No. Yes, 1, 4, 6, 9 works for 4-digit numbers, so that's fine. Or 1, 4, 7, 8. That's probably more accurate. 1, 4, 7, 8 to be a 4-digit number adding up to 20. Actually, this is always ascending here. If this is always ascending and it starts with the 5, it would have to be 5, 6, and 8. But that only adds up to 19. And therefore it would have to descend to get an extra digit to add up, but that doesn't work. So this can never be 5 here. Therefore one of these must be a 5. And to be always ascending, it would have to be 5, 6, and 9, because you can't have a 7 in that ascension. So one of these is 5, which means it has to be 5, 6, and 9. This can't be 5, 6, and 9 then, so this must be the 5, 6, and 9. This 9 means this can't be 9, so this is 5 and 2. So this ascends this way also. That's 2, 3, 2, 5, and 7. This can't be 2, so this is 1, which makes this a 9. This can't be 9 because of this 9 here, so therefore the 9 has to be here. This is 2, 5, 7 ascending, that works. This is 6, 8 ascending, that works. 3 through 9 ascending. 3, 4, 7, 8, 9 ascending, which adds up to 31. This can't be 1 anymore. We now have in column 2 a 1, 6, 7 triplet. So that's fine. This cannot be 5. So this is always at least 4 digits also. Could be a variety of things, though. Well, 8 in column 4, where is 8? It has to be here, right? So let's mark where we're stopped. We're stopped here, we're stopped here, stopped here, stopped here, and stopped here. This one we don't know. This one stopped here, this one stopped here. This one stops here. We stop here also, and then stop here. This one has to stop here. Hmm, 20. It cannot be all 5, but it could be 3 or it could be 4. Oh, it can't be 3. Because if it's 3, it has to specifically be 4, 7, 9, but the 9 is not eliminated there. Therefore, this has to be 4, and it stops here. Okay. You cannot have a 9 at the end. 9 cannot be any of the ascending parts here, so this must be a 9, which makes this an 8. 8 almost certainly has to be here. Okay, so what do we have currently? This is 11 plus 5 is 16. 45 minus 16 is 29. Therefore, 29 minus 20 is 9. So this has to be 6 or 8 here. Okay. Where are the 6 and 8 in the rest of this column? Sorry, row. Can't be here, so this has to be a 6 or an 8 also. This is 1, 3, and 7 here. The remaining digits here have to be 1 and 3, because it has to be always ascending. The other 1 or 3s here. This must be 4, and this must be 7. So this can never be 6 here, because that would be descending. So this is 8, which makes that a 6. That makes this 3, which makes this 1. This can't be 3 anymore. This can't be 3 either. So that's 1, 4, 7, 8, which is exactly what we were coming up with. This is 2, 3, and 9, but this cannot be 9 here. So it's descending here, descending here, descending, 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 descending. That works. Descending, descending. This cannot contain a 4 or a 6. Huh. The remaining digits in column 7 are 1, 2, 3, 4. But this can't be 2. The remaining digits in... Okay. Now that's interesting. Can it ever be 4 digits adding up to 20 anymore? I guess 3, 4, 6, 7, right? Or 2, 5, 6, 7. Okay, what are the remaining digits in row 8? Let's do that. We have 2, 3, 5, 8. 2, 3, 5, 8. 2, 3, 5, 8. Well, these can't be 5, so one of these is a 5 here. This cannot be 8, because if it's 8, then you only have 2 ascending digits here, which makes that 10 at most. So this cannot be 8 here. Same here. This can't be 8 because you only have 2 ascending digits there, because this can't be 9. Actually, you can't even have an 8 here. So this is 2, 3, or 5. This is 2, 3, 5, or 8. How about the remaining digits in row 7? It has to be 1, 4, 1, 3, 4, 6, 8. But these can't be 6. This can't be 1 here. If this were 1, that would be decreasing, and that's not allowed because we need to have at least 4. So this can't be 1. Where is the 1 in box 9? It has to be here. So this is 1, this is 2. This, you can no longer have 4 digits here. Because if you have, this can't be 4 either. Where is the 4 in box 9? It has to be here. So this is a 4, which means neither of these can be 4. This can't be 6. If this were 4 digits, it would be 1, 3, 8, and 9. Or 1, no, it could be 1, 2, 8, 9. So that's possible. So if it's 4 digits, well, can you ever have 1, 3, 8? No, it would be 1, 3, 8, 8, which is not allowed. So either this is 8, which forces this to be 2, because this would have to be 9 to add up to 20, or this is 3, which would then force this to be 2. So either way, this is a 2, which means this can't be 2. None of these can be 2. This is 2 with 3 or 8. We're not sure which. This can't be 1 because it has to be continuously increasing to add up to 20. This can't be 8. It can't be 3 because 3 is not greater than 5. So this must be a 6, which means this can't be 6. This is 1. This can't be 1. So this is at least 4 digits adding up. Actually, it has to be 4 digits adding up to 20. So this has to be 2, 5, 6, 7. Because it can only go up to 7 here. It can't go down again. So this is done. That's done. This can't be 7, so this is 1, which makes that a 7. This can't be 5. The remaining digits in column 6 are 3 and 4. Can this be 1, 2, 3? Well, that would leave 2 remaining digits, which would have to add up to 14. Which would either be 5 and 9, which is not possible because the 9 is there, or 6 and 8. Because if you try to have 3 digits here, that doesn't work. Okay, this can't be 2. 7 can't be here. Can't be 7, 7 anyways. And you can't have 6, 8 because of the 6 in the column. So this can never be 3. This has to be 8, which makes this a 9. That makes this a 3 here, which makes this 8, which makes that a 3. So this is done also. This can't be 9, which makes that a 3, which makes that 2, which makes that a 9. These can't be 2 then. We have a 1, 3, 4 triplet. This has to be, the remaining digits are 5 and 7. The remaining digits in column 9 are 2, 6, and 8, but this can't be 2. Okay, so we have a 3, 4, 3, 4 pair in row 5, which eliminates 3 and 4 in the rest of the row. This cannot be 3 or 4, so this must be a 1 here, which means this can't be 1, this can't be 1. We have a 3, 4, 3, 4 pair in row 4, which eliminates 3 and 4 in the rest of that row. So this can't be 3 or 4, so this must be a 5, which means this can't be 5 here. This 5 means this can't be 5, so this is 7, which makes this a 5. This can't be 7 because of this 7. This can't be 8 because of this 8. The remaining digits in column 4 are 6, 8, and 9. This can't be 9, this can't be 8 or 9, so this must be a 6, which forces this to be 8. This can't be 6 or 8, so this must be 9. The remaining digits in column 5 are 1, 2, and 5. This can't be 1 or 5, so this must be a 2. This can't be 5 because of that 5, so this must be 1, which makes that a 5. This 2 means this can't be a 2 or an 8, so this is 6, which makes that 8, which makes that a 2. This 6 means this can't be 6, so this is 1. This can't be 1 or 7 here, so that makes that a 6. Therefore, this must be 3 and 7 to add up with 9 to add up to 19. This 3 means this can't be 3, so it's a 4, which makes that a 3, which makes that a 4, which makes that a 3, which makes that a 4. And that's a solution. Yeah, pretty straightforward. I don't remember if I said this was a challenging level puzzle. Apologies if I didn't say that. But yeah, this is actually fairly straightforward, I feel. Because it's, yeah. This is interesting. This ascending starter thing is very interesting. It's more limiting than I thought it was, I guess, which is what I would be saying. But again, you have the 7, which is not ascending here, so therefore it's by itself. We have 3, 4, which is ascending, but it's descending to the 2, so 3 and 4 add together. 1, 6 descends to the 5, so 1 and 6 adds up to 7. 2, 5 descends to the 3, adds up to 7. 5, 6, 8, 9 descends to the 4, so that adds up to 28. 1, 4, 7, 8 descends to the 6, so that's 20. 3, 7, 9 descends to the 8, so it's 19. 3, 4, 7, 8, 9 descends to the 2, that adds up to 31. 2, 5, 7 that descends to the 1, which is 14. 6, 8 descends to the 3, which is 14. 4, 7 descends to the 1, which is 11. 2, 5, 6, 7 descends to the 4, which is 20. 5, 6, 9 descends to the 3, which is 20. 1, 2, 8, 9 descends to the 5, which is 20. And we have 7 descending to the 1, which is 7. Pretty interesting, actually. Pretty interesting how restricted this clue set actually is. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this solve, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.